addition to that, my lord, I've said objective evidence, which is DNA, that was found at the crime scene, excluded everyone that was in the house. What it indicated is that that DNA was left by someone else other than the person who were in the house, the persons who were inside the house. That DNA was obviously at a later stage, my lord, when these accused are now targeted. Their DNA were taken for comparison. I suppose when we get to that stage, I will deal with it, my lord, because as much as certain findings were made by the specialist, but they were pointers by the specialist to say there are common things that you can find on these people. And for me as an investigator, it was good enough that even if it's 1 or 2% of the DNA, for example, pointing accused number 3, it is enough for me to convince me that he was there as an investigator.
So you remember the DNA expert, Mamshedi Masitla, he told the court that in order to confirm that a person matches the DNA, all the regions should be there. You remember those numbers that he was spitting out? Yeah, all those numbers, all the regions should be there, should be picked up for one to confirm that there was a donor. But yeah, let's take a listen to the expert. Pella, I am not an expert. let's take a listen to him.
Scotch head bese kuba-ke nesigqoko noma lokho kubizwa ngokuthi-ke i-scotch head. And then on that particular scotch head that was found on the scene, that particular scotch head exclude the suspect. Bese kuthi-ke kuleso scotch head noma leso sigqoko leso-ke esatholakala kuyona-ke indawo yesigameko, siyabakhipha-ke noma siyabakhipha, asibahlanganisi abasolwa. And then,
did you compile a report in respect of this scotch head?
Yes,
the results on the scotch head.
Yes, I did, madam.
So now this is where he wants to go line for line for line in that report, Ubaloy, and that's where Ukininda got the 2% that he wants to force the court to take as a conclusive evidence that accused number 3 was there. That's what they basically trying to do.
Of the swab, and as well as if you look at the head as well, Mapisa Mtokozini as well is excluded. On the head we have 28, 31 and 31.2, and then Ntanzi has 29 and 36. So you can see that on the head as well, Ntanzi is excluded. And on Mube we have 21.2 and 23, of which we are not reading him there. So in that instance, because we are not reading him fully, he will then be excluded on both the head and the swab. On the head, 22 and 23. However, Fizokute has 20 and 21, so we are not reading him here. Fizokute is excluded on both the head and the swab. Dia is excluded on both the swab and the head as well.
And this is what the legal expert had to say about this.
No, indeed, if we look at what the DNA analyst said, he explained the process, how it works, and they need to, I think they look at more or less 16 points of actually sort of half what one can say direct matches before they can conclusively say, okay, this is your DNA. Because, and we must now also know South Africa is sort of half, and DNA is something unique, but also because of South Africa, the nature of South Africa, you might have people that has some traces of DNA that is similar, not exactly, but there's similar traces. So for them to only have like 6 points of 7 points is not enough to say conclusively, we can without a doubt say that this is the DNA that belongs to that person. And obviously, the state did not help itself by presenting this evidence, because now it means that all 5 accused, based on the DNA, there's not conclusive proof that they were in the house. And then it speaks to now the evidence that was given by Tumelo Madlala, Zandi Kumalo, and Mtokozizi Twala, down to the judge needing to make credibility findings against who he believes was a credible witness and not, who he believes was a credible witness and not. But obviously, the DNA evidence is undisputed as it stands now.
Exhibit was the jacket that was taken from Mbatha.
Bese kuba-ke futhi ne-jacket eyatholakala noma eyathathwa kuMbatha.
And then that DNA on the jacket included Mbatha as well.
Leyo DNA leyo-ke eyatholakala kuyona-ke i-jacket yamhlanganisa-ke naye uMbatha.
And then you also have a jacket that there was a hair that was lifted from the jacket. That is the hair. And then on the hair, we didn't get any DNA, so there was no DNA.
Kwakunenwele-ke ezatholakala kuyona-ke i-jacket leyo, kodwa-ke kuzona-ke iy'nwele lezo-ke akukho i-DNA eyatholakala.
There were also crutches. On the crutches, there was not enough DNA.
Why the said crashes doesn't even have a single DNA on it, like even if it's not conclusive, as we've seen in the head, why doesn't it have anything? That's the question. And remember, this crash was used to hit the suspects. It should have the DNA for people who were in the house, and I think it should have DNA from Thokozisi as well because he was on crashes. Let me know what you think on the comment section about this, the missing DNA on the crashes.